They say the school hallway is where most kids learn who they really are. But on Megan Caldwell's very first morning at Ridgewood High, the hallway learned who she was instead. It happened fast. A shove, a laugh, a cruel voice daring her to stay down. Dovey students froze. Whispers spread. Because on her forearm, revealed when her sleeve slid back, was a tattoo. No one expected a quiet new girl to have a tattoo that wasn't just ink, but a warning, a story, a declaration. And the moment the bully saw it, everything changed. But to understand why that tattoo carried more power than any punch, you have to hear what really happened that day Ridgewood High. Learn that strength isn't always loud, but it is always unforgettable. Megan Caldwell walked into Ridgewood High with the kind of quiet confidence that made people look twice. She wasn't flashy, she wasn't loud. She simply carried herself like someone who had already survived more than most students could imagine. Her brown hair fell loosely over her shoulders. Her backpack was plain, and her eyes stayed down as she tried to memorize the hall numbers. She wasn't here to impress anyone. Her family had just moved from a military town. After her father's passing, something Megan didn't talk about, not even when people gently asked. The move was supposed to be a fresh start, but every start feels shaky when you're the new face in a school where everyone already has their groups, their roles, their walls. At Ridgewood High, one of those roles belonged to Jason Ryder, the guy who ruled the hallways with his size, his loud laugh, and his need to embarrass people just to keep his reputation alive. Everyone knew him. Everyone avoided him. Jason wasn't evil, but he carried a lot of anger no one understood, and he threw that anger at anyone weaker. And today, he noticed Megan. She had stopped at her locker, trying to open the stubborn door. She tugged once, twice. Her hand slipped, and her sleeve rolled back, revealing a glimpse of the tattoo on her forearm, minimalist combat emblem, sharp, precise, and unmistakable to certain eyes. Jason saw it. He didn't know what it meant. He just saw something different, and different made him annoyed. "New girl," he called out, stepping toward her with his friends behind him. "You lost, or just slow?" Megan didn't answer. She didn't cower. She simply kept trying the locker combination. Jason hated being ignored. He shoved the locker door shut with one hand, trapping her fingers for a moment. Megan winced but didn't cry out. Students nearby stopped walking. A few took out their phones because that's what people do now. They don't step in. They record. "Talk when I'm talking to you," Jason growled. Megan slowly pulled her hand back. Her sleeve fell again, revealing the tattoo more clearly this time, an intricate, military-style symbol of hand-to-hand combat mastery, something usually seen on trained martial artists or special forces soldiers. Jason smirked. "Nice drawing," he teased. "Did you get it from a cereal box?" He didn't finish the sentence, because in that moment, Megan lifted her eyes and looked at him really. Looked at him, not with fear, not with anger, but with a calmness that made Jason feel suddenly small. The hallway fell silent. This was the moment everything would change, and Megan knew she couldn't avoid it anymore. Jason reached for her again, grabbing her backpack strap, ready to yank her forward. Megan didn't fight. She didn't flinch. Instead, she spoke softly, so quietly that only the closest few heard her. "Let go, please." But Jason pushed harder, shoving her shoulder, sending her stumbling into the lockers. Gasps filled the hallway. Megan's sleeve slid up again fully this time. There it was, the combat tattoo, an emblem earned only through years of intense training, discipline, and mastery. A mark often used by military families to honor a legacy of fighters and protectors. A mark her father wore, a mark she earned beside him. Jason froze, not because he understood it, but because something about her posture shifted. Her breathing slowed, her stance grounded. She wasn't fighting, she was preparing. "Look at her arm," someone whispered. "My cousin has that tattoo. Those people don't mess around." Another murmured. Jason's friend stepped back instinctively. But Jason, fueled by pride instead of sense, swung his hand again. Maybe to shove her, maybe to scare her, maybe to save face. He never touched her. Megan moved with the speed and precision of someone trained to protect, not harm. She caught his wrist not forcefully, just enough to stop him. Students gasped. Jason tried to pull back, but he couldn't. Not because she was overpowering him, but because her technique neutralized his strength completely. She spoke calmly. "I don't want to fight you. I'm not here for that." Jason's face reddened with embarrassment. "She's not even holding him hard." Someone shouted. Jason yanked again. Nothing. His frustration built until he shoved forward with his other hand. This time Megan stepped aside, letting his momentum carry him past her. He stumbled, lost balance, and slammed into the lockers with a loud metallic clang. Phones captured everything. Megan didn't chase him. She didn't threaten him. She simply stood there, breathing steadily. Her tattoo, visible like a silent declaration. "I don't start fights, but I don't run from them either." A teacher finally rushed in, pushing through the crowd. "What happened?" she demanded. Before anyone could respond, Jason, red-faced, winded, shaken, said quietly, I slipped." Everyone stared. Why was he protecting her? Because for the first time in years, Jason felt something he hadn't felt before: respect. the kind that didn't come from fear, but from witnessing someone strong enough not to humiliate him after she easily could have. Megan gently pulled her sleeve down. She didn't smile, she didn't brag, just picked up her backpack and started walking to class. And that's when Jason called out, voice softer than anyone had ever heard. "Hey, Megan, right?" She paused. I'm sorry." The hallway, normally loud, chaotic, crowded, fell silent again. Because apologies from people like Jason weren't miracles. They were turning points. Megan nodded once. "Thank you," she said quietly. Before walking away. From that day forward, Ridgewood High didn't see her as the new girl. They saw her as the girl whose strength needed no loud voice, no dramatic fight, just one tattoo, and the courage to stand her ground. If you felt the power of this story, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more emotional stories right here on SH Stories. What kind of story would you like next? Tell me in the comments.